So here we are, round 3, game 1 of OCF qualifiers. VonIvan versus Walther on Kholodny Ferma summer. VonIvan has gone for Soviets and his loadout is Lend-Lease, Terror Tactics and Shock Rifle Frontline, and Walther has Elite Armor, Scavenge and Luftwaffe Ground Forces. So kind of surprising, Von, very well known for his US Forces play, actually going for Soviets, and he's gone for Terror Tactics. So that's curious. ML20 of course receiving quite a few nerfs to its damage from I believe it's 300 a shell to 200 a shell, so doing about 2/3 the amount of damage it was originally. And also you can no longer build howitzers in base sectors, so howitzers I thought had kind of fallen out of the meta game, being rather unpopular, but we'll see if VonIvan can make it happen. Of course this doctrine still has quite a few other very useful abilities. Of course the shock troops and the caveat is also extremely strong, like most things that have flamethrowers at the moment. It's kind of like a mini crocodile, many people are saying. Crocodile light. So, just some standard capping going on so far. We've got some heavy wire here on this heavy cover here. Very common to wire this off though. OKW wire can now be cut by regular wire cutters, so perhaps not quite the ace in the hole that it used to be. And of course OKW wire does take a lot longer to be put down, so I'm not sure if that was really an effective use of his time. But we have to wait and see. So Stern Pioneers get caught out, conscripts stealing this garrison from right in front of them, but there's only one window out of this side of the church. The Stern Pioneers would probably eventually win that. Only one rifle firing against those 4 Stern Pioneers behind heavy cover, so they decide to disengage to a slightly safer range, and VonIvan trying to get a similar advantage, one window versus a whole squad behind heavy cover. VonIvan putting some good early pressure onto Walther's munitions point, which is always important, especially against OKW. You don't want them getting all those Shreks, or since the patch, the incendiary grenades are also extremely strong. Kind of like a Molotov on steroids, with no wind-up time and a lot of damage per second, and quite a lot of initial damage as well. Can very quickly wipe a squad. So VonIvan fielding a mortar, wants to help clear these garrisons. Does have a flamethrower squad, but that is in the south, currently engaged in capping. Conscripts engaged in these Volks at long range. I imagine the Volks are probably going to win this one. I believe maybe 2 of these models are not in heavy cover here, so probably going to lose, and Volks are quite good at long range, and conscripts are usually better at short range as far as base infantry goes. As we can see, they are indeed pulling ahead in their engagement. Still, the mortar is moving up. Probably going to put some pressure on this squad, and maybe even on this squad. Oh, this squad first. Von is also harassing the north now, putting some pressure on with his combat engineers. We do see battle group and a infantry support gun coming out for Walther, and these things are so cheap now, 330 manpower, especially considering how well they're performing this patch. They're doing those one-hit suppressing shots, extremely accurate. They seem to be OKW's go-to at this stage. Also, I believe there were some ninja nerfs to the flak half track, so going for the mechanized regiment, not quite so viable anymore after those ninja changes to the flak half track. If you want to know about Ninja changes, check out Cruz's threads on Kotu.org. He's got all the tasty things that they forget to include in the patch notes. Very, very useful. Whoa! That's what I was talking about there, those one-shot pins. That Combat Engineering squad didn't stand a chance. Forced to retreat there. Still, Von has 2 mortars. He's got plenty of indirect fire of his own. But I believe the infantry support gun outranges the mortar. No, I could be wrong. Looks like he is being fired upon by this mortar here in the south. Whoa! Shoe mine there. Almost knocks out that conscript squad. Got them down to 2 men and stand no chance against 2 squads of folks. If I'm doing some capping here in the north. What's he spent? Oh, his munitions on. He's got 2 flamethrowers. I thought he might have a couple mines down as well. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, and there we go as well. And that squad actually just runs right past it. A lucky break there for Walther. Oh, but he doesn't run right past that one. Almost wipes the squad, in fact, down to 1 man. And comes the incendiary grenade. Slightly off target though, kind of in the retreat path more of those combat engineers. Or maybe not even in the retreat path, they decided to go down this. I guess they wanted to run on the road rather than do some cross-country running. I suppose it would be safer on your ankles. So Walther does manage to get a cut-off maneuver on Von. Von is a bit slow to react, needs to get those combat engineers in there doing some capping. Jaeger's deployed in the back lines here, going to put some pressure on Von's squads, but they are all behind heavy cover, so... Whoa, and the mortar! The Jaegers end up using sprints to get away to safety, but they've had a pretty bad start to the match. So we've got 2 infantry support guns to counter Von's 2 mortars. Oh! And they're off to a pretty good start so far. This one up to 2 kills, and this one's got 7. 7 kills in 7 minutes. It's a very, very strong start. Walther maybe should consider going for a infantry searchlight. Try and augment his heavy investment into infantry support guns.
Target secure.
What has Von done in terms of tech? He's just gone for support weapon combat, yeah. I imagine we will be seeing a tech structure from him shortly though. And, maybe T70 seems to be the more popular option after the nerfs to the M5 quad mount. Oh, mortars raining down, almost wipes that squad of Volksgrenadiers. Infantry support guns raining down, almost hitting those combat engineers, not quite though. And it looks like Walter's going to set up yet another cut-off maneuver on Von. Von's having trouble holding onto his cut-off, and he's having trouble holding onto the victory points as well. He's down to 410 to Walter's 495. Walther making nice use of his infiltration grenades. They still have a place, even though the incendiary grenades are very strong. They are significantly cheaper. Molotovs from Von. Okay, so that's what's delayed his tech a little bit. It's been a bit of fuel on the Molotov upgrade. He's got one hit pin once again. These infantry support guns, my god. He's trying to make a flanking maneuver with these combat engineers, trying to get in the back lines, start roasting these ISGs. He doesn't like them, causing him all sorts of headaches. He's got a squad of shock troops doing some harassment in the north. Usually you don't want to do capping with your shock troops, but in this case it may be a good idea because any one lone squad that comes up to try and engage versus them, he will be able to repel. Walther will have to dedicate at least 2 squads to battle those shock troops. But the more pressing matter is that Walther is sitting on VonIvan's cutoff and he hasn't shown many signs of actually being able to break this containment.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Instead trying to do harassment of his own. Oh, infantry sport guns pin that mortar so quickly. They're so accurate, even at max range. They're just so accurate. Looks like another squad of shock troops here deployed by VonIvan. And they're enough to chase away those Jaegers there in the south. I'm just surprised that Von hasn't tried to tick up. We don't see any anti-tank on the field for Walther. No Raketenwerfers. Of course, having gone for the battle group, he will not have access to the Puma. So Von is maybe missing a chance to do some nice damage with some light vehicles. Doesn't even have any Shreks upgraded. Spending most of his munitions on grenades. Shock troops, sorry, they were doing harassment in the north. Whoa, get that wipe on retreat. Wreaking havoc on Walther's back line. Infantry sport guns trying to run to safety. Oh, they get the Stern Pioneers as well. 2 Stern Pioneers build seems to be slightly more popular these days. But Stern Pioneers, whilst they are strong, they are no match for the heavily armoured shock troops and their PPSHs. So whilst Von hasn't had control of his cutoff for so long, he has got all these points here in the north under his control, so he has had decent fuel income. Still hasn't ticked up, which I'm surprised about. I imagine maybe he's just going to go double KV8 or something equally trolly. Though it may not actually be that trolly considering how strong the KV8 is. And Walther's options, flak pens I suppose. Or maybe trying to go for tier 4 and get a fast Panzer 4.
Keep shooting, but keep your heads down.
So, all is quiet once more. Everybody's just regathering territory, healing up, chatting to their mates. Oh, did you get hit by that mortar? Yes. But I'm all patched up now and I'm ready to rumble. VonIvan has pretty much controlled the entire map though. He's seems to be a bit quicker getting back out of his base, and of course Walther losing those 2 squads on retreat has severely hurt his army size. He's having a lot more trouble capping. They're easily dodged by those Jaeger lights, but shock troops up close and personal end up forcing the retreat. Not before infiltration grenades force a retreat on that mortar crew though. Infantry support guns continue to rain down on anything that's in their general vicinity. End up forcing that retreat on that mortar there. No, repositioned. Okay, there it is. He's pushing it up now. Von's getting slightly more aggressive, going for the cutoff here. He senses an opportunity. And whilst army sizes are pretty similar, Von's army does seem to be a bit stronger. Not sure how much population cap do these occupy. 9. So a large amount of Walther's army size is tied up in these infantry support guns, perhaps artificially boosting his army to look a lot stronger. Von goes for the steal on the ISG, but is unsuccessful, gets gunned down by the Stern Pioneers trying to get away with it. But actually, shock troops could probably steal this. Will be very expensive to reinforce, but very hard to wipe on retreat with that extra armor that shock troops possess. Of course, if you try flank it as well, you got to be careful because those shock troop models will gun you down quick. Can be a nasty surprise. You think you're gonna, you know, get the jump on a team weapon, and oh no, it's crewed by shock troops, and you end up getting blasted by them. Walther here forced to retreat. Incendiary? No. Infiltration grenades. But cancelled by Walther. Smoke deployed by shock troops. They're just trying to stall here, right outside Walther's base. Infiltration grenades going in. Von's a bit slow to react. May lose his shock troops. No, they're down to one man. No, and there they go. He cleaned up by a bit of small arms at the end of that infiltration grenade action, but Von doesn't seem too concerned. He's bringing in his first KV-8 and he's got enough fuel in the bank for another one. He's just got to wait for the cooldown, and as we can see, Walther is very unprepared for this. Suppose he could go for a Jagdpanzer right about now, and that would be the right choice. In fact, that's exactly what he's doing, but maybe too late. KV-8 is on the field, and Von is just actually just sitting in his base, so he needs to seize the day, get in there with his KV-8, start roasting everything before that Jagdpanzer arrives. Von, similarly though, doesn't have any counters to the Jagdpanzers, needs to get some Zis guns coming out. Looks like he's going to put down a tripwire flare. Pretty rare that you see a player use that, but they can be effective. 10 munitions, and they always kill a model as well as give you sight. That's what you get at Vet 1 for conscripts. Perhaps a slightly underutilized ability even. Personally, I always forget to do it. I think I've placed tripwire flare twice ever in my 1,000 or so hours of Company Heroes 2. Maybe that's a new thing that everybody will do after spamming sandbags, and at the moment it's planting small patches of S minefields. Next up will be the tripwire flares, perhaps. So Von, instead of bringing in one KV-8 at a time, is going for full shock value, bringing them both in at the same time, roasting everything. They're both switching to their pea shooter, the 45mm gun, and trying to chase down this Jagdpanzer, trying to get around to its flank. Having not much success though, Jagdpanzer continues to backpedal, and 45mm gun has just a terrible time penetrating the frontal armor of a Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer misses though, hits that wood pile. 45mm gun's doing just about nothing to this Jagdpanzer though. It is backing its way into a corner, and where's he going to go from here? Jagdpanzer fails to penetrate. Phase technology engaged. Jagdpanzer's trying to boost away now, trying to come down this road as fast as he can. Needs a... I was going to say, he kind of needs something to stop this from happening. Pea shooters trying to get onto the rear armor of the Jagdpanzer. That's where they can reliably penetrate it. But there's nothing to penetrate to prevent Von from doing this right now. No Raketenwerfers, no Shrek squads. But down goes one of the KV-8s, the other one continues to stick to its rear armor like glue. Just picking away at the rear armor of the Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer does a tricky maneuver though, gets to the right side of this KV-8. KV-8's just missing, left and right. It's now going to try juke it around this hedge. Oh, AT grenade from the conscripts from the side, and that could be the break this KV-8 needs to finish the job on this Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer's got main gun destroyed now. Finally, Raketenwerfers arrive. 45mm just cannot penetrate this Jagdpanzer. He just can't finish the job. He's having to disengage now, or risk being wiped by that Raketenwerfer, so a 45mm gun, as you can see, is no match for the Jagdpanzer's frontal armour. And some nice manoeuvring there by Walther on his Jagdpanzer, keeping that alive. But that being said, doesn't have any stern pioneers, so cannot repair this Jagdpanzer. So maybe Von can take advantage of that fact, get his KV-8 back onto the field slightly quicker. He does have 2 squads of engineers, and this one's Vet 2. Vet 2, they do gain the increased repair speeds and make use of that window of time to finish the job. As we can see, he did have a triple cap running briefly, and he did pull ahead on the victory points during that window of time. During that moment of carnage. Look at these infantry support guns. My god, max range. They're just suppressing those conscripts. Switching targets now to these shock troops. Doesn't matter though. Jaeger lights sniping those low health models. Have to retreat anyway. Another squad of Jaeger lights here in the rear. Maybe they're trying to throw some infiltration grenades over this hedge onto that mortar. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Von, sensing that, gets away to safety. Nice attention to detail there from Von. Infiltration grenades deployed once more. Force the retreat of those conscripts, but Walther has just about none of the map under his control. Does have a lot of fuel in the bank though. And commonly we do see the Jagdpanzer Flak Panzer combo. And that's definitely what he needs right now to try and put some damage onto these shock troops. His infantry forces are just not cutting the mustard. That infantry sport gun has got 90 kills now. This one's actually got decrewed, so it's only got 4 since it's been recrewed. Bit of backfiring there from those infiltration grenades. Actually doing more damage to the Volksgrenadiers than these shock troops. Infantry sport guns, oh, suppress that squad. They're right for the picking now. No, he deploys smokes so they can come out of suppression. Oh, KV-8 roaster squad there in the north. I didn't even notice that, and it looks like Walther was also too late to save that. No, Von has allowed a big enough window of time for some stern pioneers to be built and that Jagdpanzer to return to full health. Here comes an R2 bombing run on the HQ. And then comes the KV-8 from the south. Flame weapons. KV-8 used to be incredibly good at knocking down HQs, but as you can see now, its damage against HQs is severely reduced. I mean, it just doesn't even do a fraction of what it used to. These used to be quite effective at base races, but as you can see there, that is no longer the case. And Von actually used to be the king of going for annihilation victories. That's not going to fly here since the changes to flame weapons. So Jagdpanzer going deep, trying to hunt down this KV-8. There is a mine over here. Maybe Von could bait him over that. No, Von's doing some tricky maneuvers here, making use of the heavy crush of this heavy tank to get through these shot blockers. Of course, a medium tank cannot pull those same maneuvers, but the heavy tanks with the heavy crush can get through these heavy shrubs. And it looks like that KV-8 will live to fight another day. But now the Flak Panzer is on the field, it's forcing all sorts of retreats from Von's forces. And now Walter's getting bold, he's going straight into the base. There are a few squads of conscripts in here, he's got to be careful. Conscripts around to close range. AT grenade snares that one. But this one was on enough health that it did not get a damaged engine. Flak Panzer now snared in a tough spot. Von is building a Zis gun, and once that comes out, that could clear out this Flak Panzer. Von's keeping his conscripts in there. He wants to get another AT grenade off on this Jagdpanzer. There we go. They're both snared now, right outside Von's base. So this is probably going to seal the deal for Von here. Still has most of the victory points under his control. Continuing the bleed. And what's going on here? It looks like Walter's actually trying to knock out the tech structure so Von cannot build a Zis. But little does he know there's already a Zis on the field. And in comes the KV-8 from the north, getting a flank on this Jagdpanzer, trying to block it. Is successful. Zis continues to pump away and finishes the job on the Jagdpanzer. I imagine the Flak Panzer's coming up next. KV-8's going to try to get to its rear armor. But here comes the Shrek squad. Where is the Raketenwerfer? Raketenwerfer's coming to try and help, but a bit late. A bit late to the party. Another AT grenade. This 45mm may only have to penetrate one or two more times. Nope, just one more time. Down goes the Flak Panzer, and Walter's fuel income, or fuel reserves are exhausted. There's no more vehicles coming anytime soon. Von's been doing a great job of keeping the pressure on Walter's fuel for the last 10 or so minutes. And I think that's going to be GG. Walter losing both his vehicles in that rather reckless push, trying to knock out the tech structure there. It almost worked. I suppose if Von didn't have that Zis, it might have worked, but in the end it wasn't enough. Von wins. That's game 1 of round 3 OCF qualifiers.